Today we are going to talk about something a lot of people don't like to talk about, but we're still going to talk about it because we are who we are.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about voodoo.
And it's not what everyone thinks.
It really isn't. We both had great history lessons in this because I learned so much, and we're going to teach you because we're great teachers, right?
Yes, and this is all done in respect. It is an amazing thing, and I can't wait to dive in.
Ready?
Let's go.
Let's do it. Jello, I'm Ash.
And I'm Lynn.
And this is Only If You Can Keep Up. Okay, so we're going to dive right in because we have a lot. Voodoo. So I knew about voodoo what I saw in movies.
Right.
Like, they don't really teach it to you in school. Like, I never learned about it. I think it was maybe mentioned.
When you learn about religions or you hear about religions, you don't think of voodoo because most people don't realize that it is a religion.
It is 100% a full religion.
Yeah.
It is a religion. So, okay, we're just going to dive right in. And we do want to start with saying we're trying to not bring awareness to it because...
Bring a, respectful light on the truth about it.
That's what I'm trying to say. And there will be some words we will say that are not probably appropriate to say today. We may mispronounce
some things, and we may get some things off because this is just on our own research, and we're learning too. Yeah. But I do want to say that this is all with respect for the religion.
And it's fascinating.
It is.
The stuff I did not understand. Like, I thought it was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad thing. I thought it was horrible. But it's not. It's an amazing,
I've always known there were a lot of misconceptions, that it wasn't everything. But there was so much I learned, and I'm in love with it, honestly.
I'm sorry, I had to move my chair. But yeah, okay, so we're just going to start. First of all, if you go to the Googles and you type in, give me a definition of voodoo, there's not one.
Right.
Like, there's one technically in a dictionary, but it's not what you would think. It talks more about doing voodoo than what voodoo is.
Yeah.
So I kind of took several of them and kind of mixed them together because there's not a clear... Because everything is different. Every practice is different.
And around the world, it's...
There's
practiced in different ways.
Essentially so many different branches of voodoo. So here's what I got. It's a deeply misunderstood African religion that blends ancestor worship with traditional spirits. And big word I'm going to mess up. Remember? Say it. Oh my God. Catholicism. I'm sorry. Catholicism.
Now I'm having...
I have it underlined
It's blended with the Catholic religion.
Okay, so you've got go there. So we've got ancestor worship, traditional spirits, and Catholicism.
Yeah.
I said it right that
started like West Africa and Haiti and things like that.
And that's what we're going to get into. Yeah. Okay. It is a community-oriented belief system focusing on healing, protection, and maintaining harmony with their spirits.
Yeah.
So it's a fucking happy thing.
Yeah.
It's a very happy thing.
And they're very connected and bonded, and they're just...
I think it's so downed upon because it's spirits. It's a form of witchcraft, essentially, but it's not. It's its own thing.
Right.
Literally. Okay. So voodoo, we kind of talked about this a little bit already. It's not what you think it is. It's not dolls and curses and black alley magic, and you go to, like, if you've seen Princess and the Frog, you know, you go to him and he sings the song and all the spirits come up and it's evil and it's bad. That is not voodoo, period.
It can be, but...
It can, but that's not how it started. That's not what it was. It started completely fucking different. It started in West Africa in places like, I'm going to butcher these because they're African names, and I can't. Benin, Togo, and Nigeria is where it officially started. Okay? It was actually originally called Vodun.
Yeah.
That was its original name.
Spelling is like Vodun, right?
But when I did the speech thing, that's how it was said too. There was an N at the end of it. Honestly, once again, it's an African word. We're probably
because it originates from the word. It's like Vodu, which means like spirit or God.
Yes.
So, and there are different spellings depending on where they practice, but the original was not spelled what we know, that Voodoo.
Right. So Vodun, I'm going to say it like that because this is the original one. This is not voodoo. This is Vodun, the original when it started. It had one creator, one person that you did not involve in your daily things. It was just there and you knew it was there. Who the creator was, Do you know? Because I could not find
it's
that.
It's just their source, their supreme being, their God.
Yes, their main God. Okay, but they worked with the spirits.
Yeah.
They controlled, like, water, storms, ancestors, love, luck. The spirits controlled what they wanted or what they needed.
Pretty much anything in your daily life.
Yes, the spirits control. So they didn't work with the God. They worked mostly with the spirits that worked for the God, I'm assuming.
Yeah, well, they look at it as, from what I understand, they look at it as God, the one main power, the God, the creator, the source, that he controls, like, the cosmic control of everything. Yes. But the spirits are, I assume, would work for him.
Essentially, just like in...
for, like, your daily... everything, human interactions, things like that.
People would actually build relationships with their spirits. Yeah. With these spirits. They would do music, dancing, offerings, altars, all of that stuff to get a connection to the spirits they would call upon. So far, it's like it's a normal organized religion that was practiced throughout West Africa, like all over the place. It's not weird, it's not different, there's nothing bad. It was centered on spirits and ancestors.
For them, it's their culture.
So many religions are focused on spirits and ancestors. So many.
Oh yeah.
But
we just hear so much about the typical Christianity and things like that, so we don't know. So many cultures work with spirits.
Exactly. But then slavery happened.
Yeah.
Slavery came, and the transatlantic slave trade. If you don't know what that is, millions of Africans were captured, sold, and transported across the Atlantic Ocean. They were forced to work on plantations in the Caribbean, North and South America.
Yeah.
So they were taken from Haiti, all of the West Africa, and brought over to this side of the world, essentially. There's a lot more into that. I am not going into it. That is too...
But just to kind of briefly touch on how they got here and how it blended.
So these people are just vibing with their spirits and ancestors, doing their thing, having a wonderful life. Then boom, we come and take all these humans from their homes and everything. They lost everything. Yeah. Like, they snatched them from their homes. They lost their land, their language, and their families, but they never lost their beliefs. They all still had the same belief system, but they're in a new world.
Right.
Okay. So these now, the owners of these humans, I don't want to say the word. The owners of these humans forced them to practice
their religion.
Catholicism. I can't say it.
So, of course, you've
Catholicism.
got North America, a big number of Christianity and Catholic. So we've got the Catholic religion is pretty much forced on the enslaved
100% people. Forced. Okay. So, but they still believe in their African spirits.
Right.
They still have that in them. You've got to think, they have grown up on that. They come out probably with the spirit next to them, like, into the world. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, just taking you from your home doesn't mean you're going to lose your belief system. Like, think about right now. If you go and you move to Germany, are you going to drop your belief system because you're in Germany? No, you're not. But they weren't allowed. They were not allowed to do what they used to do.
So it was more of a private,
they
secretive...
were forced. Right. It became secret. It became at dark and at night and under the ground and all of these things. Okay. So, but they kind of figured out how to survive with, like, their belief system while practicing Catholic.
Yeah.
Like,
so their owners, they appear to be following the rules.
Exactly.
But they're able to mesh together.
They hid their African spirits behind the Catholic saints.
Yeah.
So even so...
And I love this.
So a spirit is a saint.
Yeah.
So they would be praying to... I cannot think of one saint. Saint Joseph. I don't know. I'm not Catholic. They would be praying to Saint Joseph with their families. Or, I'm sorry, their people who were in control of them.
Right.
But in their heads and their minds, they were praying to their spirit.
Right.
Not to Saint Joseph or Saint Francis or Saint, give me a saint.
And
I don't know.
I talk about this a little later on, but a lot of the saints are very much associated with the spirits that they work with.
Right. So they would choose one that was similar to, like, this one's about love. That's their spirit about love. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the ritual Catholic people already got their rituals.
Yeah.
So it's already...
And a lot of the stuff is similar. I mean, it's different, but similar. It's similar. They work with candles.
Exactly. So they would mix the two.
Yeah.
They would kind of
blend it
mix them all. And this is what became voodoo.
What we know as voodoo.
This is voodoo. Like, then it changed to voodoo. It was no longer voodoo. It's now voodoo. So now we've got Catholic integrated within our spiritual beliefs. Okay. In 1971, there was a secret gathering. I'm going to butcher this. I'm so sorry. It was called Bois Cayman. It was secret. It was in the woods. You had to be invited. The people, I hate it, but I'm going to say it, enslaved people. They met in the middle of the night, deep, deep in the woods. This was a very organized event. They knew what was happening. I don't know if they could just sneak out. I don't know. There was a voodoo ceremony led by a priest and a priestess.
Yeah.
Okay. There was drums, chanting, ritual, animals. They actually did an animal sacrifice.
Yeah.
They all swore an oath to rise up together and take their religion back. Literally, just be back to normal. Within days after this beautiful ceremony, across the region, like everywhere, they began burning their plantations down, rising up, saying no, escaping.
And what year was this?
17. Let me go back.
I thought you said 1971. I'm like, what?
That's a little dyslexic.
1791. Okay.
Yeah, 1799.
So this is when they really start getting some power back.
Literally. This was actually the beginning of the, oh my gosh, what's Haitian?
Haitian.
Yeah. Okay. I am terrible with the English.
It's all hard. English is hard. And
this was the beginning of the Haitian Revolution. If you would like to go up and look up the Haitian Revolution, I did not go deep into it because that's not what we're talking about. This lasted over a decade, and it actually ended slavery in Haiti once it was over. So it's gone now in Haiti after this ended. This is probably about 1800 at this point. There are absolutely no written details of what happened that night, the night of the religious gathering. There's nothing written down. But historians have went in. This was on nationalgeographic.com. Actual historians have done so much research on this. And there's words, but not words in a sense as to what did happen. But it's like they won't tell.
Yeah.
I don't blame them. It's probably out of respect. But after that night, everything changed for them. Literally everything. Yeah. It ended fucking slavery in Haiti.
It was like that's how much.
Yeah. Exactly. It was great. After the ceremony and after, the 10 years of struggle, within the 10 years of, rising up and taking everything back over, voodoo actually began to bring people together versus break them up. It was more of a, you can join. We're happy. We're healthy. We help each other. We do all of these things. It became like stronger, essentially, and more accepting a little bit. And it started like identifying their culture.
Yeah.
Like it became more okay over here because it was great in Africa.
Yeah.
It just became a little more acceptable for a little bit. It was not for long. It actually began to spread, and this is when it started to branch into different versions of voodoo. There was the Louisiana voodoo, which is what we all know. I didn't know there was a different kind.
Yeah.
I thought it was
I knew there were different kinds.
Voodoo is.
Yeah, well, like what we know in North America, Louisiana, like the New Orleans style voodoo, VOODO, that's more what we know. But you've got Cuba, you've got Haiti, the Dominican, they're all over.
So many different ones. So the Louisiana one is mixed more with their local culture in New Orleans. It became more simplified, commercialized. Yeah. It's what we see. It's what we know. If you go to New Orleans or if you're from New Orleans, I'm sure you walk down the street and there's voodoo shop, come here. That's what it became today there. There's also, oh my God, say it again. Haitian. Why can't I remember that?
I'm doubting myself. I hope that's right.
Okay. Well, it's better than
I've
what
always
I
said
got.
Haitian.
The Haitian is what stayed traditional. It is what they did in West Africa and they brought over here. It was completely 100%. And they kept the Catholic within it, because that is what was here. That's another big one. That is, the Haitian one is the original voodoo, is what we call it now today. Okay, so after the revolution, here comes the fun part. Outsiders from Europe and America, imagine that, started spreading fear about voodoo. They don't like what they're seeing. We had a few years in there where we're good. Like, it's raising awareness. We have a bigger community. You need help? Let's go talk about it. We can do a ritual and help you out. And it's accepted.
Yeah.
But then here comes America and European assholes, of course. And this is dark. This is horrible. This is, what are you doing? This is devil work. Just like with witch trials and witches
because
that
if you're not Christian
if
and
you're
you don't
not
follow,
what they are.
They have to control.
Exactly. And then movies happened.
Yeah.
Obviously, because media fucking ruins everything. They started, I talk about this a little bit more later when I talk about some symbols and stuff, but the movies turned voodoo dark as shit.
Yeah.
And
that's where all the fear comes from.
It's from movies. And then also the assholes with, once again, you have a completely Christian man who sees this woman speaking to a spirit to help her son not die. And it's not from God.
Yeah. So
you're horrible. You're terrible. You're dark. You're summoning the devil. Just like similar to, honestly, anything that's not their norm.
Exactly.
So I have a question. I want you to go up to any Christian and ask them about voodoo and see how they react.
Right.
Like, I'm serious. Think about it. And I mean a real Christian, not like, the pretend ones. Like a real Christian. And just be like, how do you feel about voodoo? I can almost guarantee you they're going to, like, have some kind of something bad to say. Yeah. I'm not going to say...
Or at least feel some fear,
something.
Just because we do fear what we don't know.
Exactly, yeah.
It has been portrayed so negatively.
Terribly. It's awful. Like, I did not know any of this. I honestly, as a dumb American, thought it is what I saw in the movies. That is what voodoo is.
Right.
That is what I thought it was. I did not know
and
all of this.
And there is some truth in some parts. Like, some of them do it respectfully. But a lot of the time when you see it...
Movies I don't think do... There's more bad than there is good with
the
voodoo
majority
movies.
Of it is...
It's so bad. Yeah. Like, it pisses me off. Yeah. Like... Once again, American fucking media changing the world one dipshit movie at a time. Right. I'm sorry. It pisses me off. Like, it shouldn't have... these people are just doing their damn thing.
Yeah.
Let them do the damn thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk a little about some misconceptions and how we'd mentioned how a lot of the way it's been looked at is because of fear. Because we just don't understand what it truly is. That's Hollywood, the media, everything portrays it to be this... scary, dark thing that
I wish they would have taught us this in grade school or high school. Like, I never...
Because you always hear voodoo and you just think, ooh...
Like... I mean, I even took world culture classes in high school and college, and this has never been brought up.
Yeah. You don't hear it because people don't think of it as an actual religion, but it really, truly is a religion in itself.
Religion just as equally as Christianity.
Right.
Anything. Like, it's a fucking religion. Yes. It's not a joke. It's not a...
And it is a blended religion, technically now, but yeah. So, yeah, it's not a joke. It's not... So, like we'd mentioned before, it's often disrespected. It's dismissed. Most people don't realize it's a fully developed religion. It's not like they just threw stuff together. This is hundreds of years of their roots and their ancestry and their community, like, blended in with what they went through. So it became its own thing. But just like any other religion, they have their rites and their rituals and their initiations and things that they do that's their own. And I always thought of voodoo as kind of a taboo topic because I always thought it was like a closed, like, I'm really into witchcraft and spiritual stuff and all that, I guess more hoodoo type stuff, like, but I've always thought that voodoo was kind of a closed religion, that was a misunderstanding for me too. Like, it isn't necessarily a closed practice. From what I've read, there are some rites that are reserved for people who are being initiated and, like, to be a higher up priestess or priest. Of course, a lot goes into that, but it's generally pretty open.
I wish I was cool enough to be able to do this. Like, I don't know. This stuff is cool. Like, this is amazing.
I got to reading, like, stuff I didn't even write down, and I was just like, this is really, really interesting.
It is.
I kind of love it.
And the fact that they went through everything they went through, and they are still a strong, very organized religion, that is amazing.
I know. And there has to be truth to it because they kept it going and it works for them. So, but yeah, I guess it is pretty overall open and inclusive. So they accept new members and they bring new people in. So it's not like you have to be a certain way or from a certain place or anything. It sounds like they pretty much anyone can be brought in. So I thought that was really cool. But the movies, they show a lot of like dead rising and zombies and things like that. Like zombies, it's all about control.
Zombies are a big part of voodoo.
Yes,
they are. I didn't really talk about it much, but it is.
I will talk a little bit more about that.
Do you? Because I didn't do anything
not
on that one.
Zombies necessarily. It's not the zombies you see in them. It's not the scary. It's a different
I know what you're talking about. Because I do know about this.
But when you see in the movies the scary stuff, like with it's like all about control and manipulation and torture and they're bringing the dead to life and all. I mean, they do work with possession and things like that, which I'll talk about more later. But the scary shit you see in the movies, like it's all dark and it's all about control. That's not necessarily true. Again, like you'd mentioned with the black magic and the dark, like people assume it's all black magic. It's satanic. They don't even have a Satan in their religion. Like they don't work for dark and for negative stuff. Like there are dark practitioners, but it's usually pretty frowned upon. The religion itself is about love and peace and healing and balance, and when they do those type of protection type, it's usually for justice or protection or like to work with something out in their community. It's almost always a focus of healing and balance, the good stuff. And they do have a god, a supreme, like we'd mentioned, the supreme being. I want to say they call in voodoo, I think it's Bondi, but when it blends with the Christian, it's the Catholic part of it. It is all the same as the God that we all know, the one being that controls everything.
I bet their God isn't a long-haired white man that wears sandals and a robe. I'm just saying. I have a feeling.
Yeah. So when we talked about like the possession and stuff like that, it's to them, that's a sacred thing. It's not scary. It's not, and like I said, I'll talk about it more later, but we see this stuff and we fear it because it is scary. When you start thinking about people being possessed and spirits and working with the dead and things like that, it does feel scary. So even the truth of it could still scare people, especially people who don't understand other religions. But to me, I find it so fascinating.
I think it's cool. Because the possession is more for good.
Yeah, it's
not
accepted.
For bad. That's what I'm trying to.
Yeah,
it's not.
It's a sacred thing for them. It's not a dark thing. It's done on purpose and it's controlled, so it's different. But another misconception: the voodoo dolls. Like you see those in movies. You see they're all bad. They're evil. They're to hurt people and things like that. But I'll let you talk more about the voodoo dolls.
Okay, the voodoo dolls. In the authentic Haitian voodoo, like back in Africa, and even whenever it came over here and we mixed it with the Catholic, there was no voodoo dolls. Like every now and then they would use an object to kind of represent a human or represent a person, but it was not a doll. Like it was never an original thing ever. Like it was not. No.
So that's kind of more of a new.
I've got it all. Don't worry. So. The thing that defines voodoo, like when you think of voodoo,
most people think of voodoo dolls.
The first thing that comes to your head is a doll, voodoo doll. Instantaneously. Voodoo doll. Seriously.
Yeah.
It's not even authentic. It
Again,
is
just
created.
With the media.
It's a created thing by. Anyway, it's a mix of several different traditions. The African roots, like I said, back then, objects were used to represent a person for protection, healing, connection to the ancestors.
It's somewhat of a vessel.
But it wasn't a doll. It would be like a bundle of straw.
Yeah.
This is you. Yeah. And we're going to give this bundle of straw, which represents you, all the love.
Yeah.
It was not a doll.
It's like giving your energy. It's like a vessel for that person.
Literally, yeah. So then the European folk magic comes in at some point.
Right. And this is more like hoodoo type stuff. Like,
kind of, but it also has its own situation too. This is medieval Europe. People use puppets.
Yeah, puppets.
A puppet is a little bitty doll. He's super cute.
Yeah, I have puppets. I've made puppets
before. But I mean, these probably don't look like our
Even
puppets.
my kids have made puppets. We fill them with dried herbs and put buttons on them. And
yeah, so these dolls were used in love spells and healing rituals and protection work. So just like the West African, they, instead of taking the bundle of straw, they took an actual doll. They would sew together a doll,
like ours are made out of
represent
like
your
felt
person.
And things
exactly.
like that.
I bet they didn't have felt back then,
right?
But you know what I mean. And they actually used the pins as markers for certain rituals. So if you put a pin in the heart, we're going to focus everything on your heart. Love, healing, not die.
Yeah.
No.
Which some eventually probably did
of
start.
Course,
but it originated as more healing.
It meant to send the energy to the heart or the brain or the stomach, or it didn't matter. That's what the pins were used for.
Right.
They also filled these dolls with herbs and personal items, like a piece of your clothing or your hair, something like that. They used oils and powders for protection or whatever it was used. It was like a spell in a doll. That's literally what it was.
When I first got into witchcraft years ago and like the spiritual stuff, I thought that all puppets were voodoo. I didn't understand that all puppets were not voodoo. Like it wasn't. And I was like, oh, I thought puppets were something I couldn't do because I didn't practice voodoo. And now I understand. Like I love puppets. I think they're awesome.
They're super cool. Okay, so in the 1920s and 30s, I'm going to say that one more time.
Just 100 years ago.
Just. Yeah. Outsiders, especially in the United States, because we suck as a human race, we didn't understand voodoo. We didn't like it. We didn't like seeing it. We've already kind of said that, but we really didn't. So they lumped, we still kind of do this now, but back then, we lumped every different bunny ears, different practices together.
Yeah.
So if you're doing something different than what my church does, you're bad.
Yeah.
Period. And it didn't matter. But then we put them all in one. So all of the bad would go into one. We were all horrible. So in 1932, first of all, we're going to start that's just, we've already kind of said recap, okay? In 1932, the first full-feature zombie movie came out in America. This was the first ever view of voodoo being seen to the world because it had zombies in it. And there was a ritual inside to create the zombie of this movie, okay? Obviously, us assholes who did not understand these religions, who grouped everybody together, took it and put the fear into the world.
Yeah.
Like, you might not have even known about voodoo as a normal human being walking down the street of America or anywhere. But now you do because this movie is available. And even if you didn't see the movie, your friend did. And your friend fucking told you about it. Because it's not religious. It's horrible. It's terrible. It's bad. So, it distorted voodoo. And this is the first actual viewing of the voodoo being psychotic.
Yeah.
Okay? Crazy. This is still about dolls, too, by the way. We're just not to the dolls yet. Okay. Okay. Now, within this movie, the first thing it showed us about fear of voodoo, we have mind control, dark magic, and fear in this one fucking movie. Okay. Other movies started coming out slowly and slowly. In 1950, there was a movie that actually had a voodoo doll in it, where they took the pin, stabbed it in the heart, and the person had a heart attack. Boom. We now have what we call a voodoo doll and what we're all scared of.
Yeah.
Because of a fucking movie from 1950.
Because Hollywood takes something sacred and turns it into something evil.
So they took it and they mixed it with a little bit of hoodoo, a little bit of imagination, because nobody on this planet has ever stuck a pin in a doll and a person died. I'm sorry, they haven't. They stuck the pin in that doll to heal their fucking heart, not to kill them. But it's okay. We did what we do, and now we have these tiny little bitty revenge tools that we all think are terrible and horrible. I don't know if I should say this, but I'm going to say I own an actual voodoo doll.
Oh.
I do. I'm not going to get it because she's locked away. It was bought. It was bought in New Orleans. So is it real? I don't know. It was bought in New Orleans. Somebody bought it for me and brought it home. It's super cool. It's a very awesome. It's got like real human hair and like it's a whole thing. I don't
wonder whose hair.
I have no fucking clue, dude. Like a friend bought it for me and brought it to me, and like it came with pins. So
yeah,
your choice as to what you do. I don't know.
I got a puppet in a gift basket one time that I got. I don't know where it came from, but it gave me really weird vibes. And I love puppets. We make our own, and whatever. I still have it in a drawer shoved away, and I think I took the eyes off it. It scared me.
Oh,
like,
no.
So it's an energy thing. Like certain things hold weird energy, and I don't know where it came from.
So for Christmas, my mom from the Goodwill got my oldest daughter these two little crocheted. They look like vampires, but they both had a pin in their heart. She freaked out and threw it at me. I now have them, and they sit beautifully up on my shelf.
And it's all about how they make you feel.
Like,
if they're cute and the energy's going on them.
I said it's Bella and Edward, and the pins in their heart because they love each other so much. Like
I love weird. I'm really weird about this.
Yeah.
I loved I have this little witch made of straw and she has no eyes, like corn husk type doll thing.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that, and I have her in my kitchen, and that does not bother me. It's got good energy. I love it. I don't know where the hell it came from, how I got it, but I love that kind of stuff. So it all depends on how it makes you feel.
Yeah, and it's not all big, bad, and scary. So I do have some other objects and symbols and stuff that associate with voodoo. Okay, the Vive. Okay. It is a temporary, intricate symbol that is drawn on the ground with a stick or with ash or with coffee grounds or powdered eggshells, depending on the ritual. Okay. Each Vive is to call on a specific spirit. So every single pattern you draw is an address for a spirit. Do you see what I'm saying?
Kind of like coordinates or... Yeah.
Literally, yes. Okay. Different spirits.
They invoke it or they
the
call
different
it
spirits do different things. I did not list any spirits.
I go into that a little bit.
Good, because I didn't list any spirits because I didn't know how disrespectful, if I said it wrong or did it wrong. I just didn't. Okay. One of them opens a gate between the worlds. This one is usually called upon first. We call upon him first, and then we call upon the others just to open that portal or whatever. There is one that has to do with love, one that has to do with death. There are so many different ones.
Yeah.
I don't even think there's probably a number.
Yeah.
You know. These Vives are temporary on purpose. You wipe it clean to close the door.
Okay.
That's why they don't sit there forever. That's why you don't see them graffitied everywhere.
Right.
They don't. Using them randomly is actually extremely disrespectful. Yeah. So, like, if you get a tattoo of one, or if you have a tapestry on your wall of one,
because
or a
sacred.
rug of one, exactly.
Yeah.
It's actually seen as extremely disrespectful to even, like, draw one yourself. Just like, oh, cute doodle. It's not okay.
Outside of a ceremony.
So, like, exactly, don't do it.
Yeah.
So then we got the rattles, drums, and bells. I'm sure if you've seen any movie, they do a little dance with their drums and stuff. In voodoo, music equals communication.
Yeah.
That is so, if the Vive is the address, the rhythm is the voice calling the spirit to come.
Yeah.
Okay. So drums are the heartbeat of the ceremony. Each spirit has its own rhythm. So if I want the love spirit, I'm going to do this exact rhythm. If I want the death spirit, I'm going to do this exact rhythm. That kind of stuff. And the rattle directs the energy and signals transitions during the ritual.
Like my witchcraft stuff that I do is a little different, but I use bells to like...
That's my next one. Bells. And they get attention of the spirits. And they mark important moments during the ritual, and they shift the energy.
Use it for opening and closing rituals. Yes. You can use it for like cleansing the space, the air around you.
And then lastly, skulls and bones. We do use a lot of bones. I'm sorry, I do not. I wish I did kind of. But skulls and bones, they represent death. Yeah. But they also represent the ancestor and the spirit, and it's a very, very respectful thing.
Yeah, it's all respectful.
It's not about summoning somebody because it's a dead creature.
Right.
I don't know at what point in life we associated death with the devil.
Right.
Like, why?
I know.
Oh, wait. Never mind.
Christianity.
Everything they do, every single ritual they do, 100% is about respecting the dead. Yeah. And recognizing death as a part of life. Yeah. It's not a big scary taboo. Ooh, no.
Yeah.
No.
And I was almost hesitant to even like talk about this as a topic.
Yeah, she messaged me and she's like, maybe we shouldn't do this. But you know what? Maybe we're bringing awareness to people because I didn't know half this shit. Yeah. And now that I do, I'm happy.
I'm really glad that we did because I learned so much. And it's hard to talk about religions that you're not a part of in general.
Exactly.
But, and I know, I'm sorry, Christians, I'm not trying to put all Christians down. I'm just saying a lot of the judgmental and the stereotypes and all, a lot of that comes from old school Christianity and the way that they perceive things and put that on.
About that, recently I'm noticing it's more of our parents' generation. Yeah. Like our generation backwards to like the youngsters, they're not
things
as
are
bad.
Changing a lot.
You can tell.
People are a lot more
like, don't get me wrong, there's some people my age that I want to bitch slap because stop. But
I'm lucky. Really, my parents aren't. They aren't like that at all. But I do see the newer generation, even like Christians our age that I know, most of them are not judgment. Most of them are loving people. Right. I don't know a lot of. It's getting much better, I will say.
With the younger crowd. With the older ones,
throughout the last hundreds of years, we know in history that the very religious people were a lot of the problem. And religion in general, I'm trying to bring light to the fact that it doesn't all have to be about one religion. That's all my main focus, I think, is that, like, what I'm trying to say is, like, voodoo is a religion too. And it's okay to allow other people to practice other religions, whatever type that may be. Voodoo interests me so much because it does blend two different faith systems.
See how excited she just got.
I grew up going to churches. I grew up learning. I went to Baptist churches. I went to Methodist churches. I went to Catholic. I went to them all. I tried to figure it out. I very much believe in God. I should
have found a voodoo church. I don't think they are, though. So you should have found a backyard voodoo ritual, and they would have accepted you.
So, like, I know and love many Christians. I went to many, many churches. I tried to learn it all. I tried to somehow figure it out. I can follow my own path. I can blend it all together. I can still believe in Jesus and love God and do the right things without having to read the Bible or go to church every Sunday. And I can also do my, hoodoo, my spiritual stuff and my magical stuff, and I can blend it all together with nature and the universe and spirit and all the work that I do. It can all be my own thing. And that's what I love about voodoo, is that they blend two things together that initially seemed so different, but when you think about it all, it is all about the same. Like, if you believe in a God and you do different things, it's all kind of the same idea. Religion in itself, it's okay to think of it in different ways and to practice it in different ways if it brings you peace. So I love that they worked it all together, that their supreme God, their all-powerful one God, a lot of times it is associated with the Christian God. I think they call theirs, I think I said it was Bondi. I want to say that's it. But he is known to not meddle. He's not involved with I think we talked about this a little earlier. He doesn't get involved with the human lives, but he is the creator. He's a source of power. He kind of maintains, like, just cosmic order overall. And like we'd said, they work with, I'm just going into a little bit more on, like, their rituals, their beliefs, things like that here. So they don't have a devil counterpart. I mentioned that. Their God source is it. And then their spirits, which there's different spellings of this. There's maybe even different pronunciations. So I didn't want to go too far with it. But the spirits that they work with, they call Loa. And I'll go into more on those in a minute. But they work primarily with spirits. You'd mentioned the different kinds of the different, and then they associate with different Catholic, like, saints and things like that.
So the spirit equals the saint, and the saint and the spirit have the same agenda. They're just two different things.
It's all kind of the same.
It's just two different things for two different religions. It's the same. It's the same cup. Yeah. Same exact cup, copied and pasted, but you call it a saint, I call it a spirit.
Yeah, and that's what I love, that they blend that and it's accepted. That's how we should all be able to have our own. But what I hate is they had to blend that. I know. And they had to accept that. But they were so creative, and so...
They did the damn thing. They figured it out.
Yeah. I love that. And that's what... It took me almost into my 20s to figure out that I could do that. That I didn't have to be the specific Christian ways that I always thought were the only way. Like, that I can still love God and still do what I want to do and be a good person. Like, I love that they figured that out all those hundreds of years ago. Anyway, so I talked about a little with the priests and the priestesses. They are usually the leaders, right? So they lead the rituals. They act as healers. They act as advisors. Usually they're chosen by the spirits through dreams, symbolism, some kind of spiritual awakening, some kind of calling where they know that, okay, it's my time to step up and be a leader. But to become a priest or a priestess, I'd said that, like, the religion is kind of open. There's initiations and things like that. But a priest or a priestess, like, to be a leader, it's a really complex process. It can take years. It involves, like, deep study. They have to learn everything involved with voodoo. You know, like, they work with a mentor, a teacher. They learn about all the spirits. They learn about all the signs, all the symbols, everything that they do. They have to learn it up and down, front and back, so that they can fully devote themselves to, because they're not just a leader of a ceremony. They're leading the community, and they're acting in they're helping people through problems in the community. They're helping people
and they're
heal.
also chosen by their spirit too.
Yeah.
So it's a big deal. Like, it's not a little thing. It's a very big deal.
Right. And they even act as like doctors, the spiritual doctors. They're counselors. They're mediators. They do herbal remedies and potions, spiritual baths, cleansing rituals, things like that. So they're addressing not only physical stuff, but metaphysical stuff too, because of all the spirit work that they do. So they kind of do it all for their community. So I would think that would be a really long process of having to learn it all. But we get into their ceremonies, okay? I talked a little bit about the possessions and how they do possessions, spirit possessions, and it is a sacred thing. It's controlled, it's structured, it's welcomed, it's a positive thing. It's not like they're going around and just picking any random Joe off the street and turning him into a zombie. These are sacred ceremonies and rituals that are very planned and very like consciously, organized. Carefully organized. Yeah. So when they start these ceremonies, the person, like, they welcome it. They know that it's going to happen. They're ready for it.
So they're not just possessing nobody for no reason. Right. They're doing it they probably came to them and said, I need help with this. Okay, this is what we have to do. Right.
It's very much planned. So it's called being mounted, I think. So they'll be mounted by the Loa, by the spirit. It's, like I said, it's like an honor. It's a direct connection to the spirit world. So if you are mounted by a Loa, you are looked like, this is a big thing. This is a really good, I guess it'd be similar to like, so I've been to, with family that's Pentecostal, I've been to like the churches there. So like if they're speaking in tongues, things like that, or say when someone gets baptized, or I'm trying to think of something to like an equal, like a wow factor kind of thing. Like, you've been chosen and this is a big deal kind of thing. It's a very respected thing. So the possessions, the person may speak differently. They may act differently. They may speak as the Loa and give guidance or say things that they wouldn't normally say, that they couldn't normally know. They go into, it's like a trance, and they go in, sometimes their eyes move backwards. They start doing strange behaviors. Pretty much you know that it's not, that's not them right now. Right. Like, it's very obvious that, you know, they give advice and they give pretty much whatever they need at that time. So I don't know who all is allowed to do the possessions, if it's just anyone that's been initiated, or if they have to be a certain level of...
I would assume it would be like a priest or priestess.
I would think usually it would be, but... Yeah. So there's different spirits. I said I was going to go into a little bit. I didn't list a lot, but one of the biggest ones is the guardian spirit. It's Papa Legba, and I hope I said that right, but he's the one who allows... You'd mentioned like the guardian spirit. He allows communication between the Loa and the devout. So he controls whether possession can occur or if he'll let the Loa pass through. So he's kind of like the guardian, the protector of the spirit world.
He is the flight director of the spirits.
Yeah. So he's also, we'd mentioned the saints before, can be associated with Saint Peter, which like in Christianity, he holds the keys to heaven pretty much. You know, he opens the doors to heaven. So Papa Legba, Saint Peter, kind of equal there. And then you've got like the Virgin Mary would be linked to the spirit as Ruli, the spirit of love and motherhood and fertility and things like that. So whichever thing they're needing at that time, that's the spirit they would try to invoke or call upon.
Right, yeah.
And then, which very similar to the saints in Catholicism, how they would work with...
We really struggle with that word.
I still don't know if I'm saying that word right. Catholicism? In the Catholic religion, they work with saints. So
just change the words.
I have always loved the idea of saints and archangels. There's so much about the Catholic religion that I think is so freaking cool. And I think that's why I love voodoo, is because it works everything I love together. It's the more I learn about it, like, it is so
You're
cool.
Gonna go do like
fascinating.
I wonder if we could take like a class on
So I'm gonna get to that later. Seriously? Is a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff still.
I'll do it.
So along with possessions and their trances and connecting with spirits, you'd mentioned the dancing and singing things. Like you said, it's not just music, it's not just dance, it's a language. Like, it's what connects them to the other side. It's what brings in the spirits that they want to work with. It's a full...
It's like a phone number.
Yeah.
Like, this is how you call the phone number. You
right.
Like, instead of using your fat little finger to type it, you have to do the specific song to the specific dance to get the specific spirit.
Yeah, it's all about the rhythms. It's all about the beats. Like, you talk about frequencies and things like that. I think it's they do dances, they sing, they do chants, they're drumming. They have these big drumming circles, and it's very important to them. It is what calls it, like you said, phone number. It brings in a specific, so a different rhythm calls a specific spirit, and it helps guide through the possessions, through the rituals, through whatever they're doing at the time. So some practitioners can identify exactly which spirit is being honored just by hearing a certain rhythm. So they know that rhythm of those drums or that chant is for this loa. I know exactly what that is. So they can call it out, like how you could call out a certain song and lyrics or something. So sorry, honoring the ancestors, not just the spirits that they work with, but the ancestors, their ancestry is such a big part of their foundation. So they believe that the dead are very much still involved in the lives of the living. So they're working with their ancestors, they're respecting them, they're honoring them. It's a big part of their practice. And they'll leave, just like they leave offerings or things at their altar for the loa, they will for ancestors and things like that too, because they believe they're still part of it. Like their dances and their chants and all that, they want them involved in their living. So they'll leave offerings, things like rice, rum is really big, fruit. They'll even leave cigars, perfumes, flowers. They'll do specific colors. I mean, think of an ancestor altar with anything. I mean, pretty much whatever that person. And I work with spirit a lot too, and I do similar stuff. So like if I know that I'm trying to connect with a certain person, I may have something that I know that person likes. So that makes sense. A lot of the ceremonies take place in like graveyards, cemeteries, because for them that's not a scary place. It's a gateway for the two worlds to connect. So that's where the veil is thinnest. And then at night, they believe the darkness is said to bring the spirit realm closer to the living. So nighttime around graveyards and cemeteries is a really good place for rituals like that. Sorry, I cannot like keep hydrated. My
chug your coffee, girl.
So dry. They also perform around the world, different places. There's temples, there's special altars. Sometimes they're near waterfalls or sacred trees, depending on what they believe brings the most connection. So there's a series of prayers. Sometimes they're in like Roman Catholic origin, but to begin a ceremony, a lot of times they'll say a specific prayer. And then the voodoo spirits who serve as the gatekeepers, they're saluted with specific honors and offerings. So they'll do things like gunpowder or gasoline. They'll light it to like, especially for like fire spirits, like to bring their attention or to invoke that certain spirit.
That's kind of cool.
So you'd mentioned like whistles. I think they do whistles. They do whip cracks.
Bells.
They light things. Yeah. So they have all kinds of ways. It's just a lot of noise and excitement and different sounds and different things call on different things, which I think is so cool. They do candles. They draw symbols. You talked about the symbols a little. They have their powders and things that they put out. Like you said, it's all temporary. So when a spirit is done or a possession is done, they don't just let it. They don't just stop. There is a full
exit course.
Yeah, it has to be like respectfully released. So they also, you'd mentioned skulls and human remains. Yeah. They'll set them out not only for protection, but like boundaries to ward off harm and to keep everything in its place so that things aren't not necessarily wandering.
And I feel like that's like they're doing that because a lot of those are probably their ancestors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like possession or bones, and they're doing it in a circle to ask the ancestors to protect them during this ceremony kind of thing. Like it's a very respectful, loving thing. It's not big, bad, scary.
Yeah. And they don't want... I always do, like if I'm doing some kind of connection with, like if I'm doing a reading for someone or I'm connecting with spirit, I always like thank them and you don't want anything lingering. So they do a lot of that release so that nothing lingers, nothing gets left behind. They're not having just spirits wander around, just forgotten kind of thing. So, and you don't want anything negative either to be lingering. So they make sure that everything is closed and thanked respectfully and released. So, But yeah, I like the idea that they don't think of death as just sorrow and sad, and it's part of life for them. It's part of their whole thing. And I don't know if I mentioned before, they have like a guardian of the dead. So you see that typical, it's like a skull-faced man with a top hat, and he drinks rum, kind of like in Princess and the Frog you'd mentioned. Yeah. So there is a little bit of truth with that. Like, he's said to be kind of funny and makes inappropriate jokes, kind of lewd and just... But I think it's Baron Samedi. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but he has a name. He's officially their guardian of the dead or whatever. So he represents the idea that death is supposed to be lively and fun and part of the living world still. And I thought that was really cool.
You've said that a lot.
It was really cool. It was really
fascinating. Really cool, yeah.
But yeah, that's all I have. I just want to share a little bit of the rituals and stuff.
Okay, so we can't talk about voodoo without Marie.
Oh, yeah.
It's very brief. It's not a lot, because if you want to go deep dive, do it.
Because, when you think about, like, especially New Orleans, American
This is a
voodoo.
New Orleans, she's a New Orleans galley. She is not across the Haitian
So probably the more modern voodoo.
100%. Okay, she was born September in 1801.
Wow.
Just a few years ago.
I knew it was 1800s, but I didn't know.
Just a few years ago. It wasn't that long. She actually died June 18th. In 1881. So she lived to 79 years old. In the 1800s, that's witchcraft.
Yeah.
Literally, that's what they thought, because she was so old.
Not many people made it that long.
Exactly. It's not known in the 1800s, tulip period. So that was kind of part of her. Yeah. She's a real voodoo person because she lived so long. She born and raised in New Orleans. She was a free woman her entire life. She was a hairdresser, which was a big part of her voodoo-ness. She was also a community spiritual leader. So working as the hairdresser gave her oh my god, I can't talk now. Access to very wealthy clients, because she was a very
human hair.
There you go. Very well respected hairdresser. Like, people would come from all over Louisiana to get their hair did by her.
That's so cool for back then, because they're just
exactly. This helped her climb social networks. Yeah. This helped her become a very well-known and influential human. Well, then in the back of her hairdresserness, she did the spiritual guidance. She did prayer and ritual work. She healed people. Yeah. And people start talking. And once again, this is the 1800s. It's not bad yet. We're not devil yet. We're kind of interested. Even the wealthy people, whoa, I heard you helped Mary's son. Can you help me?
Because things go through phases, and it's there's an open-minded phase where we're getting it there again right now, where people are more open.
We're getting
and
there,
more
and then in 20 years, we're all going to be close and hate everybody. Well, actually, wait, we hate everybody.
I think we're slowly healing. Hopefully,
I don't. I think we're slowly going deeper and deeper, but it's okay. She always did. I need to go. She also organized gatherings and very large ceremonies for very specific things. Like, say they needed rain, or say a big community needed something. She would get them all together and they would do these things. She did this with using voodoo. It was the African spiritual traditions with Caribbean influencers and the Catholic practices. So she mixed it all together.
I love that.
Which is literally what New Orleans voodoo is now today. They are the most blended, I think. Yeah. They mixed everything in a big pot and said, this is us.
Yeah.
100%. The community and the media called her the Voodoo Queen. She did not name herself that. That was not I am the queen, come see me. No.
She's just I'm here to help.
Exactly. What do you need, my love? I don't know how she spoke. That was kind of Jamaican. I don't know. She was not like that. But anyway, she actually became, and is still known to this day, as the most well-known figure that represents voodoo.
Yeah.
Even, I'm assuming in other countries and everything. Everyone knows who she is, at least. Yeah. And I know a lot of other countries probably look down upon Louisiana voodoo situation because it's not theirs. And
it's not the true.
Exactly. But she's very well known. Everybody knows who the fuck she is, I think. I'm even if you don't follow her, maybe you don't. I don't know. That's a good question. But okay, so here we go. Once again, over time, people began exaggerating who she was. This was later in her life. This was not prime life. This was 50s, 60s, 70s in her life. Of course, they claimed she could control people. She could curse people. She was a horrible human being. You know, all of that bullshit. Her gatherings and rituals were dark magic when she was just a fucking spiritual leader. Like, she was just like, she didn't say, you need to come to me and I need to do... No. Someone would have a heart attack and come heal my heart for me.
They'd come
and
to
then
her.
They would go to her. Like a witch doctor, essentially. A voodoo witch doctor. Right. So, here are just a few stories that are actually documented. Actually, it's just one, because the other one was way too long. It's a court case story is what it's called. A very wealthy man came to Marie because his son was facing a very serious legal action in court. Okay? She agreed, obviously upon payment, because you still got to get your money. Yeah. She agreed to help. She performed a ritual at night with the son, and he was found not guilty and released. Of course, that word gets out, and now all the wealthy people, they want to know her.
That would have to be so exhausting.
They want to know, what's up, Marie? But then you have the group of people who were like, witchcraft, devil, you know, all of the bad stuff that comes with it. She was honestly an incredible human being who probably just prayed for this boy in court, and it came in her favor. Like, it's not... People take so much shit and mix it and twist it and go, and it's stupid and it's dumb. Yeah. She did this her entire life. Her entire life.
You get people, they're almost like obsessive with it, and they just well, I know just from doing readings and things over the years, and like, I get people that take advantage because they are so into it and they believe it so much that it's like all they can think about, and they'll want a reading every day, or they'll want me to connect with something for them over and over. And I can't imagine having like a whole community
of people who essentially need you. So, okay, if you've ever seen American Horror Story Coven, she is very largely in that season. Okay, I know you said you haven't really fully watched it.
Most of Coven.
That right there is the media taking a woman and twisting her and putting her underground. Yeah. Literally. It is dark. It is horrible. She kills people. She possesses people in a bad way. She makes a man into a bull. It's so exaggerated and not real. Mind you, I do not agree with it, but the way they did it is pretty fucking cool. I'm just saying. That's my favorite season. Like, it's interesting, but it's not what it is. She was literally a spiritual leader, period. Yeah. She used sigils, or not, what do they call it? I'm sorry, Vivs and bells and drums and all of that stuff in her work. And she was really big on snakes. She used a lot of snakes. Yeah. She liked having snakes around. Never to, like, bite anybody. It was just part of her ritual. Yeah. That always seemed to work. Like, she always almost got her outcome properly. So, go Marie. She actually died in 1881. I know I said that. But she died of natural causes. There was no big... Yeah. She just passed away. For years and years and years after she died, maybe even still today, the latest one I saw was like 1980. They still claim to see her in New Orleans. Her daughter continued her practice up until her death.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Go her, yeah. She's buried at St. Louis Cemetery number 1.
I knew she was buried in St. Louis, but that's crazy.
St. Louis Cemetery is in New Orleans.
Oh, I thought it was in St. Louis.
No, baby. That is the name of the cemetery. St. Louis Cemetery number 1 in New Orleans.
It's in New Orleans. That makes sense. Yes. Because I had read St. Louis one time and I was like, what?
It's called St. Louis Cemetery. Okay.
That's why it didn't make sense to me. Okay.
People still to this day leave her offerings, even though the cemetery asks them not to, because it's like ruining her stone. Yeah. Just leaving certain things there and it corrodes into it and everything. But people still do.
I could see why they would. They probably think of her now as one
there
of the
is also, this is a very later new thing. I guess there's 3 X's, white X's on her stone somewhere. Somebody has carved or drawn or wrote. I don't know. I have never been there. And it's supposed to be you trace them or something. This is probably completely wrong. You trace them and you ask for 3 wishes and you leave her something. That is not something she did. That is something some person did. It's a story, a myth brought down. But her tomb is the most visited tomb in New Orleans still today.
I believe that. Yeah. Yeah. Because, that's such a big presence. You would almost think she would now be looked at as someone that they would honor and
I think
and
now
work with.
We do. Yeah. But then when it was all happening, it was kind of just like now with anything, we're mixed. We've got the people who believe and the people who don't believe, who hate you.
Yeah.
Like, there's no just letting these people live. It's either you accept or you fucking hate.
Yeah.
That's
there may be other practitioners throughout the world that were just as amazing, but because of media and
I
stuff,
tried to look more up. There's really not.
Really?
There was another man who worked alongside
I've heard
her.
Of the man, I just can't think of his name. I can't think. Was it Papa something?
It was Papa something, yeah. He worked along with her sometimes, but he also did his own thing in New Orleans.
Okay. I just thought maybe since it was New Orleans and then our area.
There was another man from West Africa that was very popular, but he was in like the 1600s, and there is so little on him that I could get no information.
So she is probably the biggest then. I just assumed like for our area.
Between her and her daughter.
With
I
media.
think her daughter got pretty big, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It does make you wonder why there haven't been more that are so well known, or
probably because everyone thinks it's horrible.
Yeah, I do feel like we're going through this really, really hateful time, and I feel like we're coming out of it. And we're going to get into a more peaceful time because there have been more peaceful times. There is human nature to have hate and whatever, but hopefully we're working into something more open and accepting. I feel
like I have hate for the people.
Yeah.
I accept everything. You want to come to me and tell me you worship a fucking frog?
Right.
Go you, boo-boo.
Exactly.
How do you do it? I'm very curious. I have so many questions, but you go you. But now if a person, like a human being, comes into my yard, why are you here?
Right. It's like boundaries and disrespect.
I don't want the person. Tell me you believe in something. Like, yell from the street, I believe in frogs. Come on in, baby. I don't know. The human race is terrible right now. We are terrible people.
Yeah.
Literally.
It really
I said literally first time though.
I just really, really hope that we're coming out of it soon.
I agree.
It has to, because it can't keep getting worse.
Yeah.
So voodoo's still very popular. It's still practiced. I mean, it's still alive. There's still around 60 million people, I think I read, that practice voodoo throughout the world, all over. It's one of the oldest religion. It's one of the most resilient religions, I'll say. They've literally been through hell and back.
I'm going to say it is the most resilient religion. I mean, I know people say Christians went through things and they went through... Listen to this story and tell me that wasn't like the worst fucking go through any human could go through. Literally.
And I know most texts say it dates back to like 18th century, but I read that they think it could have roots back 5,000-6,000 years ago to like ancient West Africa and stuff. So nobody really knows where it started, but what we know, but
what's recorded is what we talked about.
And it's still a very big part of the Haitian culture. In Haiti, they have big events, big parties, harvests. I mean, it's part of if there's a big event, a ceremony, anything in the community, it's part of the births and deaths and celebrations and everything. And it helps them maintain their social connection, their bonds for the community, their connection with their ancestors. They still use their healing and protection rituals. I mean, it's still very much part of their daily life. So they have, in Haiti, I know for sure, maybe in other places too, they have ceremonies now today that are open to the public. Of course, you have to be respectful if you attend, but they're open to all walks of life. Like
in Haiti?
Yeah. The one I read about was in Haiti. Go. Right? And they may have them here too.
I'm not a travel person. I will suck it up and travel just to see this. This would be, my God.
This was what I really got lost in, because this is like the true, like the original style, like the real voodoo stuff.
Do you know how bad I seriously want to do that? I bet it's not expensive to go.
I read that, I'm not sure. I'd have to look into that. But I read that they're very open and accepting there. Like, so they're accepting of all, like, walks of life, no matter your race, your gender, your beliefs,
after
your sexuality.
They fucking been through, the fact that they're still accepting. Maybe I need to take a page out of there.
I read something that, like, for these ceremonies, like, no matter what you are, if you're, you identify as something else, or you dress weird, or you have whatever you are, it doesn't matter, that it's not frowned upon at all. They just accept anyone that. And now, I'm not saying that you get to be involved in the ceremonies, but I think it's probably a bystander. Maybe.
I wouldn't want to be involved in their beautifulness. Right. Like, just let me
to learn and observe,
watch, and let me ask questions. So have a translator there, because I'm sure you don't speak my language. I don't speak yours, actually. So I want to know. Right. I want to know why you did.
I want to experience.
I would be so annoying.
I want to just feel the energy. Like, like I said, I don't go to church regularly anymore, but I love to be in a good church.
Look up some kind of big cultural thing like that and try to go.
One day actually travel. Now that the kids are getting older, we can actually go on a trip together.
Let's do it. I hate traveling. Oh my God, my husband would kill me. He tries to get me to go everywhere. I'm like, no, I'm going with Lynn.
But I imagine...
He would want to come just because protection. Like, he'd be like, my big bodyguard.
My husband would probably love it, honestly. He'd be like, this is so cool. He loves different stuff and different cultures.
Let's look into this.
But
this is never going to happen, but it's exciting to think about.
If I go into a certain church for a certain event, mind you, I've not gone to church regularly for years, but there are certain things where I'm like, I feel the Holy Spirit, okay? Like, you can just feel it. The music, the energy, everything. There are certain places and certain times where it's just like, whoa, okay, I know what this is about. I feel like going to that would be like so much bigger than all that. It would just be so much with all the dancing and the chanting, and it would be amazing.
Extremely overwhelming.
Maybe, but I feel like once we get in the rhythm of it,
I think it'd be okay.
It would be like, wow, this is unreal. Like, I can't imagine the feeling, and to have that in your daily life.
I'm about to look up flights to Haiti. I'm not even kidding. Like,
so
is that
I mean, there's rules like you can't wear white because the white is reserved for like the priests and the priestesses, so it's like a very sacred color.
Can I wear black? Because that's all I own.
I think I read that they expect you to wear like neutral, kind of casual, but not like no obscene graphic shirts or anything like that. But
so just you can't wear your Slipknot shirt.
I'm wearing a Slipknot shirt right now.
And I have AC/DC, so
a little bit scared.
It's okay. I'll change my whole wardrobe for you.
Right?
What'd you say about?
You're wearing Pink Floyd.
That's what I said.
So yeah, like
I said it.
I don't think these scary masks on my shirt would be appropriate, but like to just wear normal clothes, I think it's fine. It seems like as long as you're pretty laid back when you're not like extreme, but yeah, it's still practiced today. It's still practiced in New Orleans today, like American Voodoo. It sounds like, so these ceremonies, things like that, when they bring visitors in, it sounds so welcoming and warm. They send people out with lots of good luck and good fortune, and they wish like prosperity and good health on them, and it's all good vibes from what it sounds like. But the American Voodoo, New Orleans, they still practice today. They still incorporate like the Catholic aspects, the prayers, the holy water, saints, angels, working with different scripture, things like that. And in New Orleans, they although it's a little different now, they do still have like voodoo celebrations and festivals and local events, music and things like that. But a lot of it, like we'd mentioned before, is focused on tourism and commercialism, like the shops and the shows and the art and the displays. And it's all about, it's become very, very media centered and very commercialized. But it is still really cool that they portray it, like they honor it in some way. And voodoo is making, over the last, more recently, it's making a big resurgence. With social media and people able to connect and get together more online and things like that and speak out and bring in awareness and things like that, it's become really, really popular in more recent years. So people are wanting to connect with their heritage and honor their ancestry and learn and explore their roots. So I mentioned earlier, there's workshops where they do like a practitioner will help people learn about it, and they'll teach them, and they can go through these events and learn different things about it. So, but it's a growing and evolving and still very much a live religion, and it's beautiful and powerful and far too misunderstood. So
I just looked up, like I legit just looked this up because I'm going. Like I'm not, but I like mentally I'm going.
We'll forget about it by tomorrow.
I know, right? This is all about like booking your trip and everything like that, and everything you will experience to make sure you're okay with it, because there is a lot that
especially now with everything going on.
They do an animal sacrifice, and they want to make sure you understand they do
I did
an
read
animal
that they
sacrifice.
do some animal
but
sacrifice.
they do it for good luck. The servants of the spirits may make a blood sacrifice: roosters, chickens, doves, pigs, goats.
I read that too. Goats? I know. I figured that part might be hard because you have a farm and whatnot.
Oh my gosh, I don't like that. It's okay. I'll still go. And it just talks about
We're still open-minded.
Yeah, it's everything they do, and like literally expect to be there for days. Like it's not like their one dance can last up to 7 days.
Yeah, they because it's like a huge thing.
Yeah. But it also says that pretty much all you need to bring with you to this actual festival is $100. That's it, because $100 is like equal. That's a whole month's salary for one person there.
Oh my gosh.
So just bring 100. That doesn't include travel and everything else
for the event
into
itself.
the festival. Bring $100, and you will come home with probably almost all of it. That's literally what it says.
That's wild. So that to me is different than like the workshops or the classes that they do in like New Orleans. I think it's amazing that they do that for people to try to connect with their heritage and stuff.
Yeah.
But to go to Haiti and do like a real, like, I'm not saying New Orleans voodoo isn't real, but it's different. It's different.
This is like root real.
Yeah. Like,
and I'm sure New Orleans has its root real too.
Right.
But this is like, I don't even know how to explain it.
Yeah. I just think the energy would be something we could never experience anywhere else.
Like, this is honestly never going to happen, but how fucking... Maybe we can just watch a YouTube video. That's close enough, right? Just turn it up real loud and close our eyes, like pretend like we're actually
astral
there.
project or something.
Right. Okay. So, everything, I learned a lot. I hope we're great teachers. I feel like we did pretty good because this is
I hope that we respectfully represented it all.
I am very proud that I actually learned. Like, I learned a lot of different things. Because
we always think we know it all, but we still can learn.
Exactly.
I'm always open to learning new stuff. I love it. And it is
so.
it sounds like, I know there are scary parts of it, even in the real voodoo, that with the sacrifices, the skulls, things like that.
Okay, but there's scary parts in
Christianity. But the reasoning for it and the history behind it, it is such a beautiful thing.
Incredibly beautiful. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go.
All right.
Okay.
Have fun.
Bye. Go to Haiti with us. Come on, let's all go together. That would be so cool. Okay, bye.